How I became a runner. This is not a video about running. I'm insisting on doing this outside because we've got this glorious sunshine at the moment. I'm doing everything I can outside. So, going back 20 years to getting my cancer diagnosis. By the way, we may have some interference from the dogs here. And living on the east coast of the States in a place that was half an hour's drive from the nearest town of 200 people. That is rural. And being out for a walk one day after the diagnosis, it's middle of winter, snow everywhere. And I'd taken the time to sit for a week in and out of meditation, but I'm going to call it finding the quiet, to tune in to myself, to open up that inner voice, inner heart, divine connection, intuition. I see all this as kind of, if it's not the same thing, they are definitely related. And having spent 3 years prior to that studying the mind-body connection. So with a combination of education, the diagnosis from the conventional medicine world, the time I sat in meditation, opening up my intuition, I then take this walk and it's freezing and I heard this voice in my head say, I want to go faster. And I thought, wow. Now, I'd never been a runner. I had been a runner at about the age of 9 at primary school. Anyone watching from the States, that is, age 9. I don't know what the equivalent is in school years over there. And I quite enjoyed it, but not done anything with it. I wasn't particularly athletic going through school. And I thought, wow. And I probably didn't listen. I can't quite remember, but I probably didn't listen completely the first time, but it stayed with me. And I went and got a pair of shoes. And I just started moving a little bit quicker. And what was to happen was it was to become, I would say, the foundational grounding piece of my healing. It became the thing I did every day for that first year, no matter whether it was raining or sunny or hot or cold. I would get up, or at night I would go out, put my shoes on and just go. It took me a long time to realise that what it was giving me when I couldn't sit still because there was so much coming up and out of my system at the time, what it was giving me was a space to actively meditate, my feet on the ground, my head in the air. And I became in love with running, and I adore running. I think it's a fantastic form of exercise, but that's not what this is about. What this is really about is I stopped in my life. I took enough time out. I made myself the priority. And I listened and I heard something from inside of me that was guidance to get me to do something that was to become the backbone of my health and well-being. Because running got my energy going. Running stimulated my system. It got the blood flowing. And I hadn't been moving a lot prior to this point. I wasn't dancing. I wasn't engaged in other forms of exercise, which is kind of almost unthinkable now. And I tuned in and heard the piece that I needed as part of my healing. And this is the thing that I want to get across to people. When I tell my story, the first thing people ask is, well, what did you do? It's like, no, it's not what I did. It's that I stopped and I listened, that I tuned in, that I made myself, my health and well-being, the absolute priority above everything else. Cleared all the other crap out the way, all the other dramas, everyone else. I've lost friends on this journey, and I continue to lose friends because I prioritise my health and well-being. And some people can't be around that because They may need to prioritize their health and well-being when we don't match. It's not. And that has to be okay, because we all have to be healing ourselves. We all have to be looking after ourselves first. You cannot be giving to other people before yourself. And if you're doing that, you will come unstuck at some point. Your system will shout. And this is what mine was doing when I had cancer. It was shouting at me, saying, "What are you doing? You're not living your life." And so that running was the beginning for me. I was always a mover. This is the thing. I was a fidgety child. I've got a little dog that's come to say hello. There. Oh, two little dogs. I was a fidgety child. So my mum put me in some sort of tumble tots class. And so for me, movement was always going to be a massive piece of rebalancing my health and well-being. And I believe movement is a big piece for everybody, whatever that movement is for you. It's going to be different for different people. But if you look at our systems, if you look at our bodies and all the joints, the muscles, the bones, we're not designed to sit statically. Everything is designed to move. So it makes complete sense to me that movement was one of the first things that came through as this is what I need to do to kickstart my health and well-being. And because I educated myself around movement prior to that, interestingly enough, running is shown to be one of the most effective exercises for getting the system going, losing weight, because it uses the biggest muscles in the body. And at that point, that is exactly what I needed. So my whole system knew what to do, but I hadn't been listening. And that's the key here, is to start listening, is to tune in, is to open up that intuition, to hear your inner voice, to tap into your inner compass, guidance, whatever you want to call it, and only you really know what that is. Education is definitely a part of this. That helps inform our intuition, but that raw intuition, that's just you. That's down to you. No one else can give you that. No coach, no teacher, no one. So I think that's a good place to pause here. So, and I work with people. I help them open up that intuition. I help them find that inner guidance for themselves. And then I let them loose in the world. I don't let them loose, but I hold space for people to do that. So then they are free to fly on their own terms. If you're interested in opening up your intuition with me, DM me the word ignite. All right. Have a great day, afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. Bye.